Fine. Pretty fine. Oh yeah, I forgot. Totally forgot this thing. Actually, I'm doing some writing. Uh, how to show this? Yes, this one. Oop. Yeah, this is why I put quacking there. Quacking is the best way to get attention. Yeah, actually, you do notice like my Discord actually have like this story sections. I never have like a good sense at at writing, or you can say that I never have like a, not say good sense of writing. It's more like I have like lack of confidence in writing. So having ChatGPT act like a writing instructor or like a grammar corrector is actually pretty fun for me. Currently, the history is gone in ChatGPT, so they are trying to restoring it. But so far, the thing I wrote is pretty nice the way I do it. It's like a back and forth relationship. Sometimes it just try to simplify stuff and cut out the context. So I just copy what they wrote again and then rewrote and re-edit it and then give them back. Hey, I want to keep this context in. So they would just streamline the word, trying their best to keep the context. And then yeah, it's just like keep on just talking with them like that. Plus, this is a free editor. Imagine you talking with with an editor and a publisher. You cannot do it like just every single paragraph. You just call your freaking editor. It's like, hey, I write this paragraph. Can you take a look at it? Yeah, that is kind of like impossible to do it. Me saying that, I kind of like remembering like how most students like bother their lecturers like at the middle of the night. Not middle of the night, like uh at the dead of night, like just 12 p.m. or just 1 p.m., and then the email just come in here. Hi, sir. I got this issue. Trust me, there's a lot of people does that. And copy this image. Yeah, I kind of like lost like this most important image I made. This is all like my first experimental artwork. I think I already refined most of my stuff from ChatGPT in this guy bio. I think I remember. Kinda. Did I? Not really remember. Let's try to read it first, see anything wrong with it. Oh, yeah. I don't think a lot of people know this. This chord have a zoom in function. Hey, why it doesn't work now? It used to be able to zoom in. You can enlarge the word and everything. Ah, they removed the function. You can sort of like do zoom in like this. Wait a minute. Ah, yes. Yeah, you can do this kind of like zoom in stuff with the Discord. I think they removed the functions. Yeah, they removed the functions. Too bad. Wait a minute, I think you're in my Discord server, isn't it? Yeah. I did not write that much, but because I don't have a lot of interaction with like this type with my writing, so I end up like didn't do it a lot. I'm a very reactive person. I have like a bunch of story in my mind, but I never go to write it because nobody is interested in it. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot this thing. Yeah, because I never really found an audience like have like an affinity of like reading stuff. To be honest, I hope like there's one day there's a guy who is good at writing but suck at doing stories, and then I'm good at doing stories, suck at writing. We can sort of like work together. But that is like wishful thinking. Uh, yeah. So the Isle Sledge is being from another parallel world where the biotechnology drives. Uh, yes, I did not do any ChatGPT edit in here. So let's just copy this here. Yeah, basically does this. I just copy everything here and then I ask, why this thing coming out? Oops, misspelled. I asked politely. I forgot the police. Yeah, technically it maintain like everything. It just like they try to like correct most of the word, and then sometimes they just like erase the sort of like the context I specially built. Like I sort of like quote mark the place, and then usually I quote mark the place is sort of like name the place. And I did not know writing should use like this kind of dot thing. So sometimes they just like help me out with this kind of things, and I can even do this. Yeah, yeah, they can do that. So sometimes like Twitter have like this like word limit. You can just type like this kind of thing, like transform it into a Twitter friendly format, and then they're just like you know even hashtag it for you. Yeah, ChatGPT is actually very fun to play with. So let me read it like any context is lost. Isolation is a being from the parallel world whereby technology thrives more than should. He is one of the second highest rank among his kind and an avid high ranking researcher. I do not know I can use avid this way. Okay, what I wrote. Among their kind and wait, I actually use avid. Okay. Alright, his fascination with magic drives him to push forward his research, applying various theories to living subject to figure out how human in Narodia are able to use it with ease. He strives to create like the perfect being that can manipulate the surrounding mana instead of relying on the innate mana Narodia are born with. His passions for this research is so immense that he disobeyed any order from the Lord of Fear and pursued his own experiment even when even when the Lord of Fear is defeated and retreat back to his own dimensions. Closing entrance. I don't. Yeah, technically works out. Works out. Yep, I'm going to use this in my tweet. Yeah, now I'm trying to do something like you know, tweet the story out. See, it's too much. I kind of hate this. I have to break down to this point. Character histories, I guess. Character history. Let's go for 1/4. Should be 5 actually. Control X, Control V. Oh, not here. Um, 2. Uh, yep, I knew it. I need to break down this part to here to here. I think 4 is enough already. I don't need 5. Oops. Then 1/4. And I got everything here. And then I can use the hashtag they created. Of created a create hashtag for a the self uh, well, Bio. Yep, you have your good night's sleep then. Da, 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 da. I didn't have that. Technically, I always hydrate myself. In fact, I actually hydrate a little bit too much because Manila disease is kind of like your ears have like this water imbalance, regulation imbalance. So you kind of have too much water instead, or take in too much salt. So your body like contain way too much water. But no matter how much I drink the water, I kind of my lips is still cracking a lot. So I'm not really sure is I drink enough or not enough. Like a part of my body says too much, and then a part of my body says not enough. Yeah, I tried it before, but it didn't work that much. I think it's because I kind of allergic to shrimp. Because my lips crack the worst is after I ate some shrimp. Alright, then I'm not holding back. You can just, go to sleep for the day. I'm going to wake up even more earlier next time to start my stream just to match up your time. Actually, I just want to match up for like majority of people time. Like if I stream like around at 5, yeah, I stream around at 5. I would around your area 3 times, so I can at least have like certain time zone locked down. And later on, like the next wave will be like at the other, the other side time zone. So it's like come in wave on the western side if I stream around 5 a.m. So 5 to 12, I can stream till that time, and then have fun with it. Actually, 5 to 12 is like 7 hour stream. It's practically working at that point. But yeah, I'm thinking about that since I'm still growing channel, and the longer I stream, the chance of people noticing me is going to be more and more. And since I stick around at two uh, consistent topic, because I always like stream art first and then go to just chat and then go to game. My game, I always stream variety of games, so I need like other things that consistent enough people to notice me. So yeah, doing this is the best choice to do it. Currently, I saw like doing drawing like around sometimes, and then do some chatting around sometimes, and then until like I feel like it, and then just start gaming. Yeah, back then I can hardly do like 1 hour stuff, but I realized that uh, after I withdraw from my studies, I have sort of like nothing to bind me to. I take a lot more rest than I usually do, so I can work more than I usually do. Um, this is the thing. I'm those kind of people who is like forcing himself to do work nonstop. Is basically I don't have a brake pedal on me. So if I start to do stuff, I kind of like go over 100% to do things. So I always overwork myself, except doing my own stuff. So yeah, when I studying, when the lectures are like want me to do this kind of thing, do that kind of thing, I would just go push out like 200% of my brain just to work on those stuff, and then I end up like, you know, it's bad for my health. It's my last semester, and my health is actually getting worse and worse. This is why I decided to stop studying and start doing all this thing. But I just start to get serious on this kind of things, so I have to, at this beginning phase at least, I need to try hard a little bit. Maybe I can try to find someone to do some collab with, but here's the thing. I live in Malaysia. The ping is horrendous with every kind of collab. This is why no matter how much interest I want or how active in the the VCC channel, I never really decided to join any collab because I know my ping will be horrendous. At least I notice like Vinny Boy is actually a Singaporean. Is actually like very close to me, so I think I can do some collab with him when he try to do some collab. Yeah, that's the best choice I can have for now. So not a single thing. Nah, I have zero collab for now. For one thing, I'm very bad at scheduling. This is why when even I suggest scheduling, I would ask other people to do it. So I only can wait for someone to ask me. This is why I went on a little bit on an active zone. I try to be active, but not exactly joining anyone at the same time. And yet again, like I say, the ping. Either you guys join me and then you guys have a horrendous ping, or I join you guys I have a horrendous ping. Too bad Malaysia is like somewhat of a not and yes backwater country in the same time. We use a lot of technology and stuff, but in the same times, we our thinking skill is very backwater. So our infrastructures is very backwater, but our personal gadget is very high tech. Like if you go to Malaysia, you will just see like, this is pretty decent for a third world country. Actually, we are like in between of being like a third world and maybe second. I don't know. Is there a word for second world? Well, technically, we can play MMORPG. That way, we won't have like horrendous ping issues. If we have it, sort of like we have it together. Yeah, this is the thing. Mm, not a lot in my mind because when I think about like co-op stuff, all I can think is like playing Valheim or playing Borderland or maybe Project Zomboid. Actually, I've been thinking want to play Project Zomboid for quite a long time, but I remember they did say like the mod really helps Project Zomboid to become much more immersive than even it already is. And Monster Hunters, of course, but not a lot of people have like Switch for Monster Hunters. Even they have, they kind of like move slowly moving to the PC versions because they are rich. I'm not. Technically, if you play Switch on Monster Hunters, you kind of are rich because you have to pay like for the monthly subscriptions for the privilege to play online. I was like, shit. I blame Sony. the moment that PlayStation decided to want people to subscribe to PlayStation Plus, online thingy has become like, you know, like something like you need to pay. It's because like Sony Sony Plus has created that kind of like environment. Even Xbox starting to copy it. When Xbox copy it, yeah, it's still decent. They did quite a lot of things. Now they even are uh, above. You can say the service is above like Sony created, but and then Nintendo look at both of them as I want to get that piece of pie too, and then make a horrendous version of it. Nintendo, you're bad at internet stuff. Don't try to do it. Like for God's sake, you are a toy store. You are not like software company. I know. So let's put some fantasy in that topic. Actually, I can put it in here. Hashtag fantasy. And then some hashtag lost legend series. Hashtag lost legend lore. Yeah, if you never use like the Twitter properly, the hashtag actually is not cap sensitive. It's just for visual. So it's better you have like caps for like, you know, since you can't have a space, so use the caps for this kind of things. Yeah, so you don't have to mind like you like write anything that they show you like different like cap size, but it's the same as word. You can just click what you want. It's the same. Long as the word is the same and the alphabet is the same, then it's okay. Unless it's misspelling. Because there's a funny thing I can show you. VTuber. Yeah. Now look at this. It's called VTuber Uprising. This is VTuber Uprising. For some reasons, the misspelling hashtag is the trending one, and the actual hashtag is not the one that is trending. This is why a lot of people like notice it, but since it's trending, they was like, ah, well, I just use it. And then it and then it does that that like the misspelling one end up being the famous one instead of the actual one. So another hashtag. I wanted Lost Legend. I'm trying to create my own hashtag, but trust me, Lost Legend is not just a name I used for my entire series. It's practically like the core of the my all my story that link together. This is almost like a central of everything. But too bad. Actually, Lost Legend, I found out it's been used. Actually, there's a website called Lost Legend that put out like fake like lore news just to confuse the shit out of people. Like if you try to search like Lost Legend for the KFC recipe, there's a website for it, and that will give you like false information for a lot of stuff. Practically, that website is made to confuse the shit out of people. They made it on purpose, like prove the point that like just something random, right professionally, can mislead a lot of people. I hope that website is not active anymore because they only did it for the gimmick. So people who does research and stuff like get caught by this thing, and citing that site is like kind of like like a trap. Yay! This is the longest hashtag I made. Well, technically, it's the entire series title. Norseland Ice Witch is this particular part of the Lost Legend series. I made like a shit ton of series that sometimes reference to each other. Yeah. Good night. I'll just keep on talking nonstop. Hope that someone drop by. So this Northland's Ice Witch series is mainly revolve around this guy. He sort of like create like the ultimate being that creates that can control ice, sort of like manipulate the surrounding ice with them, because the magic system in this world is actually really particular. And most of the time, we would say like, "Oh, you create like things out of thin air." That is not possible. But for here, is totally opposite of that. For them, it's like everyone is born with like this innate mana with them. So you're born with like affinity of like create fire magic. Your body have that mana, just have the ability to convert stuff into fire. So it converts that energy and the mana into fire out thin air. So you can create like element out of nowhere, and then it will recycle back to your body. It will disintegrate and recycle back to your body. So you overuse that, you didn't absorb fast enough, you will run out of mana. I made the system that way instead of like like most magic system, like they absorb the mana in the surrounding area. For them, they have like this total opposite like philosophy of mana. They respect everything that born. They respect and understand that everything is born with like this innate energy in them, so they call it mana. And then it's a taboo to control other people mana. So basically, how people standardly use magic, like absorb mana from surrounding and then shoot it out, or control like those kind of like doing like the avatar bender stuff. They consider like manipulate the surrounding, like you use earth magic, you're sort of like controlling the earth, controlling the ground you step on. They consider it as a taboo. So if you are sort of like born with innate like this elemental magic, you can like create rock out thin air, and then rock spike out thin air and just shoot at people. It doesn't like um pull or manipulate stuff around. So what they believe is that way. This is how Arodia people think about like magic. But this dude actually is from Earth, like alternate version of Earth. There's actually the entire Lost Legend series have two alternate version of Earth managed to connect to this world. First one is Darkling. Well, the Fiend. The Fiend actually is another parallel human world that they, like I say, they actually are having biotechnologies much more thriving than the current our more computerized and hardware rise wise type of technology stuff. So their world use way too much way too reliant on biotechnologies, and so like they I actually wrote like a few series in my brain for their world. Actually, there's one is how they managed to destroy it in the first place. It's called Psycho Madness. They try to create like a type of cells that can let them do photosynthesis, and then they will be basically just kind of like a support to the body, so they would not rely on food anymore. The issue is, yes, you do not rely on food, but it somehow triggers something else, like the craze of wanting to eat stuff. And it kind of like turned them into like raging zombies. Like not just like those like dead zombies, like they are biologically just frenzy, want to bite something, want to eat something. So uh it kind of like also the cell itself can sort of like spread to people, so it become like a sort of like apocalypse like zombie world. And too bad, it actually at the end it got killed by the protagonist, but by the time all living thing is almost dead, either it's already got infected or almost dead, so they almost have no livestock left because of that like incident. And then there's another story I wrote. It's more like a those kind of like utopia series stories, like there's a like some fuck up shit happen like behind the scene. Yeah. So after they recover from that madness from a long time afterward, they create like this utopia societies. Like you have like the high class and the middle class and the low class, and then spoiler alert, like the livestock class. Um, Basically, for the low class, they basically just vegetarian. They plant is still exists. So like I say, the Psycho Madness stuff is like their attempt to create like photosynthesis stuff. So even it infected the plant, it doesn't really does anything to the plant. But infected the livestock, it turns them into sort of like raging zombies too, frenzy too. So end up like killing each other, all the livestock too. Basically, there's no more animal in that place. So they kind of like the second class, the lower class just eat vegetarian stuff, and then the middle class they kind of like have some like they can have like some, aside from vegetarian stuff, they have this like ration block they can eat. It is basically flavor stuff, like they can eat it for their pleasure. And then there's this high class people that they can eat meat. And yes, when I say that's like spoiler with the livestock class, you kind of like know what those meat are. Yeah. The main protagonist of that story, he is from the high class people. He eat meat and he do journalist stuff, and he kind of like found out like the meat that he's been eating for so long is actually a human grind up. They basically force fed like the livestock class people with like insect. Somehow, a few particular insect is immune to this kind, immune to that Psycho Madness back then. So, a lot of insect actually managed to survive through the, you know, the Psycho Madness stories, and this is why the middle class rations is actually insect food. But of course, they did not tell you about it. They just flavor it up. And as for the livestock class, they basically force fed with the vegetable and the insect and fatten them up. Mostly insect. and then they sort of like grind them up to a pulp and then eat them. So basically, high class people are a lot of people like the very very high up for the high class people know what they are doing, and mm, I can say there's like only 30% of the high class people have no idea they have been eating human meat, and the main protagonist is that. And then after that, he have some like eating issues, this and that. While at it, he also being chased down by the high class people. They're sending people like chasing him down, this and stuff. And later on, it did get exposed about this kind of things, and then they try to uh, it actually just end at that point. He basically exposed it into news to everyone globally, and then this is sort of like happened in the Darkling invasions. They basically found out like there's this portal they can go in, and then they decided to go in and starting to take the resources in there, basically mainly livestock. So they want to conquer the place to get the livestock, and to get the livestock, they decided to invade the place instead, because they already at this like very distress point. Is This is basically like a few more 100 years after that after that human cannibalism thingy. So they actually like already at the loss of sanities for not eating stuff. So they just try to invade the place. And Ice Lich is part of the scientists that create the creature for invading the place. But his fascination of magic has, derived him from doing his actual job, like creating like special creature just for invading the Arodia unit place. And there's actually like five creature creator, and then two is killed, and then the rest survive is the blood fiend, and then the ice lich, and the law of fear. So ice lich is kind of like what can somebody call it? Hold on. Yeah, ice lich is like what do I call it? Those kind of people who is a little bit too enthusiastic on what they're trying to do. Hold on. I got a little bit too distracted. I want to go pee. All right, I'll be off a little bit. Going to toilet. Ah. Funny thing is, my topic is about Monster Hunter Rise, and then I start talking about this thing. Well, the Ice Leech actually is basically just a guy who is way too nerdy with his stuff, and then he go overboard with what he wanted to do. He basically is that kind of guy. Okay, let's try to streamline what we have. Uh, 4/4, and then let's add another sections to it. That is the story after the, you know. Army. I thought I accidentally pressed like beat all. Let's try this. Oh, here. No, 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 no. I'm not trying to do anything bad here. Well, technically, I can just, tweet everything now because the after story is a different thing. Okay, let's take a short break first. I need to take a look at what the heck that I first one. So this will be the story part where the Ice Lich after the first Darkling invasion basically stay hidden in the land of ice, in the land of ice, the Norseland, and he created this ice castle and act as his like research lab and continue his experiment in his leisures, study like various magic book, this and that, yada yada stuff. So I can just streamline the um, and grammar used of the following then paste, and then I need to add something to it since like after the thing playing invasions. Yeah, I think I should just keep this. And boop. Let's see how much they. While staying hidden in the land of ice, Norseland Ice Lich create a ice castle to use as research. used as his research lab. He studies various magic books that he and his subject had read from the first Darkling invasion. Sadly, uh, these books only taught people how to use magic and did not explain why they had the ability to do so. The Ice Lich decided to use living subject from the locals to test his theories, resulting in the creation of the mindless dark magic user called Ice Witch. However, the Ice Witches were unstable and prone to crystallizations after a period of time. One of the subjects, Strill, surprised him by remaining intact in mind and not crystallizing. Ice Witch favors Strill and used her as a reference to develop more successful Ice Witch, all whom were bound to his will. Strill, I should add the context of one day Strill ran away. Okay, and Xylit ordered the remaining Ice Witch to find and retrieve her as she was a successful research achievement. Okay, I need to add this into it. It's pretty nice, most of the thing, but except this part actually explain a little bit more about him, like why he values tree so much, and in the same time he don't care. He's that kind of person. He care and don't care at the same time because he care about Strill being like his trophy, and then also the same time when she ran away, he is not carrying Strill as a person that ran away, that his most prized possessions. He only say, "Oh, my trophy ran away. Go retrieve it." Just that. He's a very cold and psychopathic person. He doesn't understand a lot of things on the emotional value, so he just you know being very himself. I think the streamline is a little bit too much. Uh, try to extend the context more. Hope it try to expand the context, like reading this and this at the same time. Guys, this continuous experiment finds itself frustrate the lack of knowledge available and oh, he actually start in the middle of here. Yeah, just try to watch it struggle first. The result research was terrifying. Yep. Yeah, this is how I wanted it to be. But some of the context need to change. He's not a vengeful person. He's basically in oh shit, press the wrong thing. He basically is just a very mm, I won't say mindless, a very indifferent people. Oh, yeah, this one is a little bit like add on to it. I think it's time to go a little bit off the rail. Yeah, regenerate the response. Instead of writing dark magic, I need to like emphasize like the control of the manipulation of the the thingy, the thingy. Actually, this is the funny part of the stories. I know it is wrong in here. She just want to run away. Basically, just break free from the grass and ride, but she did not intend it to reverse the dark magic effect. It's basically innate something. And Strill actually agree with Ice Lich most of the time. That's the contradiction of it. But she doesn't like the indifference Ice Lich is because no matter how much a psychopath said the right thing, he's still at the end is a psychopath that keep killing people in his experiment. And that's the crux of the main part of the story is why Strill ran away. Because like Ice Lich is a person who questions things. He basically find out like magic is exist. He was like like very excited. Magic is a thing in here, and he also found out like why don't you like if you can have the ability to like create elemental element out of nowhere, why don't you try to manipulate the surrounding mana? Since it's taboo for them, they never ever have the the inkling like idea they would try to do that. It was never cross their mind to do those kind of things. So Ice Lich is the you can say somewhat livid at this type of like thinking style. He's a scientist at most at first, and a psychopath second, and also magic enthusiast at third. A technical magic enthusiast at second is the main thing. He technically just had personality of psychopath, and he tried his best. He tried his utmost best to try to discover how to control, because he can't control stuff that way. So he used the local populace to create Ice Witch, which is the thing that that become the main protagonist like reasons to try to seek like the seek Ice Lich. The story of Norseland's Ice Witch is this: it's a guy, it's not the witch, but it listed the Norseland's Ice Witch because he has Ice Witch power, which is weird. because so far only female subjects survived. There's no male subject survive at all. And then he actually is the husband of Sriel after she ran away. And then there's one day, like Sriel was discovered to being an ice witch, like the mob starting to, surrounding the house, and in order to save, uh, her husband, so she decided to do like an ice explosion in the house for no reason. This is like, oh, but actually she had a plan, but at first it looked like this is like a really unreasonable thing to do. Like it killed everyone that skill, and technically include his husband. But his husband already got stabbed in the first place, so it kind of already dying. So she did that actually to save him. But also doing that, she overused her power to save him and turn like I say, like in this part of the story, there's like crystallization issues for Ice Witch, and she overused it and turned into a crystal. And he did not know. Like he just woke up in a pile of ice. Technically, those pile of ice is his wife, Strill. And in the later on end of the stories, actually Strill is still alive, but she already turned into a crystal elemental, or you can say ice elemental at that point. But still never, like reveal it to Alovan. Alovan is the main protagonist. So I need to copy this and try to read it again and edit as much as I can. Copy all and paste it first. Yeah, I think I did enough. Let's go to the gaming thingy. Play some Monster Hunters. And so like turn this thing off. And pop. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone who watching this and hear me blabbering. Yeah. I love the storytelling part of what I do. But yeah, it's late. I should start like doing more stuff. What I bet I'm switching, the descriptions into more sentences.